Welcome. In this video, we will show you how to use the multi-line sizing tool for Emerson's piston actuators. This will allow you to size Bettis, Biffy, EL-O-Matic, high torque, and more in actuators. You can also assign and do multi-line sizing using the online tool or by inputting the information to an Excel spreadsheet. First, we'll show you how to log in. On the Emerson.com homepage, just click on the My Emerson sign-in icon at the top right. Now, enter your registered email address and password, and click the Sign In button when you're done. Now, navigate to your initials in the circle and select My Emerson account. From this screen, click on Tools. Now, scroll down to Actuation Technologies, CPQ Cloud, and click on Access Tool. You are now on the CPQ Cloud homepage. From here, you can either size per line, or you can configure actuators, which we have covered in previous videos, or you can use the Bulk Import button. This allows you to do multi-line sizing for Bettis, Biffy, EL-O-Matic, high torque, and more in actuators. To do that, click on Bulk Import. You then have two options. You can select either electric or pneumatic hydraulic. Today, we will select the second option. From this page, you can import and insert information line by line. You can also download an Excel spreadsheet template, add your information using Excel, and import that spreadsheet back into the tool. This screen, as well as the spreadsheet, is organized into separate sections. Here, we show the line, quantity, tag, model string, and price. These sections are frozen, so they will always be displayed. However, whenever you move around to the other parts of the screen, other sections can be minimized and maximized as you go through them. Above each section, you will see a plus. Click the plus to expand each section and enter the information that you require. Anything which has a green underline is a mandatory field. Anything that doesn't is an optional field. You can also switch between units of measure, between imperial and metric, by clicking the Switch UOM button. To size an actuator, begin by entering the information on the screen. You will need to select which brand you want to start sizing for. You can then enter the remaining information, such as the power source, pneumatic, hydraulic, etc., what the fail action is, and importantly, you can indicate which actuator series you want to start sizing from. For example, if you select a CBB, but your torque is higher than a CBB offers, the system will automatically go up to a CBA 300 or a G-series actuator. So, the value entered here doesn't necessarily mean it is the actuator that you will ultimately size. You can continue to enter all the other sizing information that you need. And when you need to minimize a section, just click the minus button. And click the plus button to continue entering the information for the actuator you need to size. This section, with the maximum operating pressure, check, is a fairly important field. It is relevant to whether the maximum size and pressure is checked. We will supply you with a separate user manual explaining how this works. You also have the safety relief valve setting pressure that can be set. Again, we will supply you a user's manual for the differences in how these fields are used, depending on what's selected in the pressure reducer and also in the max operating pressure check. Once you finish with each segment, you can minimize it and continue with the remaining sections. Next, you can enter the valve torque information. You can enter all 6 valve torques, only one of them, or a couple of them, depending on what information you have available. You can also enter dynamic torques if required. Next is the safety factor information. For the project safety factor, whatever factor you enter here will be copied across to the other safety factor values. Once you're done entering information, you can click Size All to size your actuator. If you've entered multiple lines of information, it will size all the actuators. You also have the ability to copy which will copy all or only the values you select to multiple other lines. For example, I can copy this information into 3 more lines and size all. You can also edit specific information on one line only, then just size that particular line item again on its own without having to resize everything. You can also delete items. So, that is how you enter your information directly in the tool. You also have the option to download an Excel template to enter your information into. Click here to download the template, and an Excel spreadsheet will be downloaded to your computer. The spreadsheet contains exactly the same information as the user interface, but in Excel, you can easily copy and paste. When you download the template, there will be one blank line. Once you've filled that in, you can copy and paste all the information to as many other lines as you like. You can also copy information from other spreadsheets and paste it in here. Again, each section can be minimized and maximized in much the same way as the online tool. The Excel file provides a very similar experience as the online tool. However, the Excel file may make it easier for you to copy, paste, and delete line items. Once you have finished entering your information, you will need to save the Excel spreadsheet to your computer. Then, in the online tool, you can click on the Upload Template button. This will allow you to drag and drop the file that you've created on your PC into CPQ Cloud. Simply drag the icon for your spreadsheet file into this window, then let go of the mouse button. The system will tell you when your file has uploaded. When finished, click Save. You may get an error message if you've not filled in some of the mandatory fields. Also, if your file name contains special characters, like an ampersand, a comma, a dot, you may also get an error message. Click Save, and the information will be uploaded into the system. Then you can just click Size All, and the tool will size the lines from your spreadsheet. Once the sizing has been completed, you can download the sizing summary or the torque summary. You can do that from here. Simply click this icon to download the torque summary. You will be shown these options. By default, the summary will include the minimum sizing pressure. If you have sized a BIFI product and the entered maximum sizing pressure and/or safety relief pressure, check these options to include those values. This functionality is not available for the Bettis, EL-O-Matic, High Torque, or Morn products at the moment. Click the Download button to save the torque summary to your computer. The document will contain any project information you've entered, as well as the line information, any tags you have entered, the model string that's been sized, the actuator MLP, the actuator air consumption, the valve torque with any dynamic torques, the actuator torques that have been calculated, and the actual safety factor. The torque summary can then be sent with your quotation. If you need to make any modifications based on the torque summary, you can do so to the individual lines in the CPQ online tool, changing the torque, the safety factor, or any other information. If you are happy with your quotation, you can either log out of the tool by pressing this button, or you can go back to the bulk import screen or the home page. And that is how to use the multi-line sizing tool in CPQ Cloud. Thank you for watching.